What? Are you doing season 2 of that stupid show?
Honey, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Again? Just where are you going?
Where are you going? You're not going to the bar again, are you?
You like hanging out, drinking beer at the bar, talking sports? Come on out and join us weekly. Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, your podcast for just that. Hanging out, drinking some beer, talking sports. Three things you can do in order to help the guys out. And I know you want to help us out. Number 1, join the Facebook group. If you've already joined the Facebook group, go ahead and invite a friend. All you gotta do is type in Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. You'll find the Facebook group there. Second thing you can do is subscribe to the show. And then the third thing you can do is give us a 5-star rating and review on whatever podcatcher you're listening through. You do that, you'll make these guys happy while we drink beer and talk sports. This is Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, where we talk sports at a bar and hang out drinking beer. That's what we do. And I just want to tell you guys, we got a lot of competition going right now. There's these 2 brothers that started their own show. You probably know who they are, right? They're the Mannings, Peyton Manning and
Never
Eli
heard of
Manning.
them. Never heard of them.
Oh, you've never heard of them?
No. Are they
All
in
right.
tennis or something?
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a lot of hype around their show, so we got to step up our game.
All right.
I'm so stressed out right now. As soon as I heard all this, I start hearing people talking about Eli Manning and Peyton Manning, and it's like they're saying, oh, they're so funny, they're so nice, it's just a great show to watch. And I'm just like, what are we going to do, man?
Are they related to Chelsea Manning?
Say what?
Chelsea Manning? Any relation?
Some relation to Chelsea Manning. Okay. I don't know. All I know is that I'm worried because we're competing for people's ears and their views and their listens, and these guys are dominating the airwaves right now. If you watch ESPN, they're like, oh yeah, they're so great.
Well, let's focus on their hearts instead.
Even hearts and minds. We're going to win hearts and minds.
That's right. That's why we're here.
That's our goal, to win hearts and minds. Yeah. But I was just have you guys watched their show?
I have not.
I have, and I will tell you, I love it and I hate it at the same time.
What do you mean by that?
I love just watching Eli and Peyton go back and forth and banter, and it reminds me of watching sports with my own brother.
Yeah.
That part I love. I love how they pick on each other. It's true. It's real. What I don't like is they get disassociated from the game that I'm also trying to watch at the same time. Now,
okay. That's my problem. I switched over for about 30 seconds, and I could not really get into watching the game, so I changed it back over.
So what you're saying is we have a chance to keep these people listening to our show.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because we care.
I think they're showboating a little bit, and that's why that happened, right? They're trying to be too much personality. And the Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, we don't try to just be all personality. We're all about in-depth coverage and comedy.
Yeah, detailed analysis.
Analysis and fun.
And realism. I mean,
realism.
We're all real. I mean,
yeah.
Actually, my goal with this show is just to have fun talking sports. Whether it's BSing around, we don't need to have exact stats. We can call the Ole Miss quarterback some other guy's name.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Things
Matt
like
Corral.
that. We can do that stuff and get away with it because we're just guys at the bar talking sports. We're not Eli Manning and Peyton Manning who are like
Shakira last week, apparently.
Shakira, oh, they are?
Well, he was doing some weird hips don't lie drill that Dak was warming up with. It was pretty weird.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, let's go ahead and introduce everyone that's on the show. You know myself, my name is Hanger, drinking my beer. I'm drinking a Dogfish Head pumpkin ale today. It's actually not as good as I was hoping it would be. So, we also have a returning host today, and that is my man, Who's Your Daddy?
Who's Your Daddy's back with you, and I'm drinking a very cold Bud Light draft.
How is that Bud
That
Light
Bud Light
draft?
draft is very good.
So
very good.
it's so refreshing when you're drinking a good cold Bud Light draft. It's. I would rather have that in my gigantic mug than my dogfish head pumpkin ale. Or
That's
whatever
just
the
too
hell it is.
long. It's too long to say,
It's
let alone drink.
Yeah, it's actually it's impossible to even say it, let alone drink it. But I'm gonna finish it because I don't believe in wasting beer.
Well, if you want, you can take my Bud Light and we can switch it because you got about an extra 20 ounces on me, if you would choose to.
Ha! You're trying to win on this thing, aren't you?
Maybe.
So, who is that guy? You guys know him. You guys love him. He's Ripper the Predictor.
What's up, everybody? Let's have fun tonight.
So, I gotta get out the scores and stuff like that, but you guys know I always talk about this. Ripper the Predictor is having a little contest against...
All tied up at the moment, I believe.
all tied up against Lucky Locke, the 10-year-old sensation who knows his stuff when it comes to
Make me feel real
college
good about
football.
my analysis right now.
I think he does, right?
Yeah.
I think he does. So, Ripper the Predictor, you had Ole Miss winning
I do. I've got the
against
upset.
Alabama.
Do I think Ole Miss is a better team? No, but I just think it's time for Lane Kiffin to get over the hump.
So, here's what we're going to do for the rest of the season. I'm going to do scores so that if there's a tie at the end, we can kind of figure out who wins based on scores as well. Because right
Now,
now
when you
you're
say
tied.
we, you mean you, right?
I'll do it.
You're going to figure all that out? Because that's
yeah,
math. and
with
I don't
my
math.
with my master analysis that goes on.
Yeah, I don't math very well.
I don't math very well either, but I can kind of figure it out somehow. So, you have Ole Miss, but my man Lucky Locke has Alabama winning. I think that's a safe bet to say. He says 45-38, so that's a high-scoring game. We'll talk about the scores later and what we think and all that stuff, but that's what he's saying. You're saying 41-31. Notre Dame beats Cincinnati. Both of y'all are saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I was leaning heavy on Cincinnati, but, I just kind of, in my gut, I thought Ole Miss might pull it off this week, so I went with them as the upset instead of Cincinnati.
All right, and both of y'all got the dogs also. That's a pretty
close score comparison between him and I as well. I think he was at 27-17 or 27-13, and I got the dogs winning 27-14.
Yeah, so that's it right there. So both of y'all chose two of the same teams, and then Ole Miss, Alabama is a little bit different. So we'll see how that goes. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the recap show that I do on Sunday mornings. Keep an eye out for that. So let's talk about some points that I wanted to make for this week, right? I'm trying to get some conversations going and things like that. I even did a little poll on the Facebook group asking people which quarterback that's a rookie they thought would be a superstar. And the winning so far is Mac Jones, right? So we got Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Davis Mills, and Justin Fields. Davis Mills is from the Texans.
I'm not going to throw him in this conversation.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and exit him out of the
Omit.
conversation, yeah.
Delete.
So we're just going to talk Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields. Zach Wilson, I feel sorry for this guy. He's been sacked 15 times this season.
Well, I feel sorry for about all the quarterbacks. I mean, you look at Justin Fields. How many times? He went down 8 times against...
9.
9 times against the Browns. And,
No, it's
Y'all
not true.
loved that, didn't you?
oh, yeah, we love
It was kind of love. It was a love-hate kind of
But
situation.
I feel
being
sorry
a former
for those
Buckeye.
rookie quarterbacks that don't have the offensive linemen. Even in your pro game tonight with Jacksonville going against Cincinnati, I mean, it's another situation to where a rookie quarterback is going to step into a tough environment playing at Cincinnati tonight, and he's been sacked on his back, looking up more at the sky than he has probably looking forward. So.
I feel sorry for these guys this year.
I do
They
too.
have one win between them. Between those five that I mentioned, they have one win between them. And it's just tough. They have one win. Mac Jones is the only one that's won a game.
Yeah, I guess Fields probably came in the second half last week.
Yeah. So the
I got
Bears have had a win, but it's him between
Right.
between them playing. Yeah, he's the only one Mac Jones is the only one that had a win. And Who's going to be the star, though? Like, are any of those guys going to stand up for the rest of the season and do well? Are any of them going to have a good future in the NFL? Because it's tough as a rookie quarterback. Like, there's not a lot of people that are successful as a quarterback in the NFL.
And again, well, we're talking about their rookie season. I mean, is the question who's going to have a better rookie season or who's going to be, a potential all-pro quarterback somewhere down the line in their career?
Well, let's ask both those questions. And are any of them going to have a good season this season?
Well, as far as good season, I think there's only one of those four that may have a realistic chance at having even a winning season, not even a good season, but a winning season, going 9-8, and that would be Mac Jones, just because he has those pieces around him, and he has Bill Belichick behind him.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, what's going on right there? I don't even know if he's going to start another game this year. He shouldn't. Right now, I think it's a waste to throw your 11th round pick around no supporting cast. I mean, you had the Cleveland Browns last weekend teeing off on him, and they were only providing 5-man coverage for him most of the game.
Yeah.
He was a sitting duck back there. He's still learning the offense. He didn't even start out as a week 1 starter as the other 3 did.
That's true.
So he's behind to start off with. So I don't even want to see him out there till at least mid-season until he can learn the offense a little better.
Yeah, I want to see these guys successful. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I root for a rookie quarterback, especially greatness. I respect greatness. I always have. When you look at somebody that's put their entire life into it and they've gotten to the top of their game in college, obviously they're going to try to get to the top of their game in college football, or excuse me, in NFL football. But the thing is, you just see so many of them just fall apart, Look at Tua. He can't stop getting injured. Every last season, this season, he's already out. They're not expecting him back for 3 or 4 weeks now, and maybe 2 weeks if he's lucky.
Maybe never again if Deshaun Watson goes that way and he's clear to play.
Exactly. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. So somebody who was great in college, and then he's just not doing well. But then you think of Joe Burrow. He's getting a little bit of success at Cincinnati.
Well, he had a great rookie year until he got hurt.
Yeah.
But back to those original 4 rookies this year.
Yep, let's stick with it.
The one individual that I'm thinking will have the most prolific career would be Sunshine out of Jacksonville.
Sunshine!
I really think Trevor Lawrence has all the skills and demeanor and mindset necessary to succeed in the NFL, but it's not going to happen in week 1. I mean, Peyton Manning, one of the top 3 quarterbacks of all time, arguably, but probably, went 3-13 his rookie year, threw like 28 interceptions.
Okay.
So, your expectation shouldn't be for him to go make the playoffs. That's a rarity. Those things don't normally happen.
I guess if they win 2 games, they're better off than they were last season, right?
Absolutely. I still think, you know what, and I could be wrong here, but I got a feeling that they're going to play well tonight and maybe even knock off Cincinnati. That's probably a little bit of me as a Browns fan hoping for that, so the Browns move up a little bit better and get a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah.
But I think Jacksonville's going to give Cincinnati a run for the money tonight. And I think Trevor's going to have a good game.
And I think looking forward down the road, year or 2, I think Jones and Lawrence are the 2 quarterbacks that got a chance to start making their careers. I think they both are very capable. Both just mentally very strong and understanding the game. And Lawrence's size alone, is just he's just your pro quarterback type.
Well, he's going to continue to fill out too.
Right.
He's 6'6", and he's still filling out.
But until they get, and maybe in a year or 2, either trade, draft some offensive linemen, if they can't step back in the pocket 3 steps and set up to throw it, they've got no chance. It's going to be tough. And every one of those rookie quarterbacks, we talked about it earlier, it's unfortunate, but they just don't have the offensive line protection that they need too. So.
When you look back at, the Dallas Cowboys in the early 90s, I think their rookie, Troy Aikman's rookie year, I think they went 1-15.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they were awful. And then, 3-4 years later, they're in the Super Bowl, and they win the Super Bowl. They win, 3 out of 4 years, they win the Super Bowl. So they can get there, but they're going to have to struggle probably first because they don't have that team built around them with that high draft pick.
Well, they'll probably be in shape to have some high draft picks.
Oh, they will.
Do you think some of these guys should not have been starting so early in their career?
Yes and no.
I mean, the teams that they're playing for don't have any options really, right?
So right now, New York and Chicago probably have the worst offensive lines in the NFL. Those two quarterbacks risk getting hurt.
Zach Wilson started all of the games that he's played, and he's been sacked 12% of the time. When he drops back, 12% chance of getting sacked. He's looking over his shoulder constantly at that point. He's terrified. I don't think he's terrified. He's a quarterback. He's not terrified, but he knows they're coming. And he's a pocket passer. He's not a quarterback that was known for running in college.
Right.
So.
And I mean, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, they're more mobile, so they can probably elude some of that.
Justin Fields, he's only had one game that he's played in, but he was sacked 23% of the time. But obviously we know that from the one,
Well, and Clowney and Garrett just teed off on him, and again, it wasn't much to the fault of Fields.
It's the offensive line. Terrible showing.
Yeah, I think they had a combined 1 net passing yard after the sack yardage was taken away. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy in the NFL.
Do you think, do you think that Bill Belichick is going to regret letting Cam Newton go?
No.
Okay.
No. And again, I think I said this initially, I think Mac Jones is the best poised to have a successful rookie season. Unfortunately, they did just lose the running back for the year.
Okay. Well, that sucks then.
Yeah.
So
But
it's Bill Belichick. He knows what he's doing, I would imagine.
Well, where is Cam Newton now?
like,
What has happened to Cam Newton now? I mean,
Did he get picked?
I think that answers
yeah, nobody picked him up.
question.
He's
Nobody
not on a
picked him
roster
up.
right
Yeah,
now.
I
Okay.
think there's some underlying issues. I don't know what they are, but there's some underlying issues with Cam Newton, with the team aspect that's kept other teams away as well.
Well, I think it's the personality and it's the shoulder issue.
It could be, yeah.
And it's his age. He's not an old quarterback, but he's got a lot of miles on him.
He's a cult of personality for sure, and he's had some
Great
injuries
song.
and so forth. Yeah, he's a cult of personality. He's had some injuries. Last season he didn't perform. I mean, look at a team. New England comes up. I mean, Brady leaves, and then Cam Newton steps in, and they don't have that good of a season last year. So
Well, and I can't say it's completely because of that, because when Brady went out with the torn ACL, like in 2007 or whatever, Matt Castle, no name, comes in and leads them to 11 wins.
yeah,
So, obviously, Brady's much better, but that team around Brady was a lot better than what the current New England Patriots are as well.
gotcha. Okay, so let's change it up a little bit. We're gonna go to college football after we talk a little about baseball. Okay?
Let's do it. Let's do
Because
it.
I gotta be able to get baseball into the conversation every week, just because we do have some listeners
Did you get those notes?
from Beth.
Yeah. No.
Oh, from Cheeks.
There you go, Cheeks. What's up,
From
Cheeks?
Cheeks. So I have not even had a chance to look them over. But she did want me to say that Zach Wilson and Justin Fields and all that, we won't even go there because I haven't even read it over. So, but she only has NFL stuff on here.
Oh, she didn't talk about the
She doesn't have
baseball?
anything baseball. Yeah, sorry, Cheeks, I can't talk baseball. I figured she'd have something about the.
I've
the
got some
Dodgers.
baseball thoughts when you're ready.
All right. The Rays are obviously in the playoffs. White Sox and Astros, they're locked in for the American League, right? Yankees, Red Sox, and Mariners seem like they have a shot. But that was my notes from a couple of days ago. I haven't had a chance to look it up. But the Red Sox were in it, and now
Do you know how
they've
the whole
fallen back again.
playoff system works in the majors?
Yeah, you get two. Yeah, so you
Okay.
get two wild cards
Right.
from each of the from American League and from National League. So
And then you get the three
and then
division
the
leaders,
three
yeah.
divisions. Yeah, so I'm up on that, guys. Trust me, I know a little bit about baseball, but that's not my primary sport. My primary sport is college football, and then NFL football as well.
I didn't mean to be
So-
insulting if I was.
I know you're so rude. Oh, and then college
for,
basketball.
It's for that comment last week about the hose or the shows or something.
Shows before hose, bros. Shows before hose, bros. That's the motto of the show. You got to figure it out.
I want that shirt.
Shows before hose, bros.
We need that shirt.
Wow. I'm going to make it. Boom. All right. And we're all going to wear it. We're going to get a picture taken while we're wearing it.
And we're all going to sleep on the couch.
And we're all going to sleep on the couch. But I think that would sell. Let me know through the Facebook group if you're willing to buy that shirt, and I will make it. So, because we got to be able to figure out a way to make some money so we can buy ourselves beer. And I think T-shirts might be the way to go. Who knows? Maybe hats.
You need to get a Venmo set up.
A Venmo set up.
A Venmo set up.
We do have a Venmo set up.
Yeah, and you don't even need shirts. Just have people send us money so we can drink beer as we talk about.
If you want to buy the guys a beer, you just got to do @Guys in the Bar Talking Sports through Venmo.
Boom.
And then boom, you just send us $15 a round of beers and we're good to go. You know? All right, so back to the National League. Braves, Brewers, Giants, and Dodgers are in for sure. Cardinals look like they're going to be possibly in. Chief Boogie! He always wants to make an appearance, but he does not fully embrace it.
Well, he's embracing the cape that he's wearing right now.
He is. Chip and Wales, by the way. Chip and Wales is a fundraiser that they do. Have you guys ever been to his parties?
Haven't made it yet. I'm always fishing that weekend.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man, the Chip and Whale party is amazing. They raise money for some children's charities of the Midlands, I think.
Yeah, and they do a polar plunge every February.
Last year they raised like 50 or 60 grand. This year, I think I'm going to do a Guys in the Bar Talking Sports thing where I try to get people that are in the Facebook group to donate and then maybe throw like, $500 their way or something like that through the Guys in the Bar Talking Sports thing. I haven't figured it out yet, but keep an eye out for that. I might try to put something together. Who knows?
Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball, talk to me. I don't have any clue on what's going on, so I need your expertise there, Ripper.
All right, so in the AL, we're looking at Boston and New York Yankees being the wild card teams.
New York got beat last night.
Yep.
6-5.
But they're still the number one wild card team.
Very
right
exciting game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go right down to this weekend probably, which is the final.
On who's going to be 1 and 2, and
right.
Toronto's in there as well.
Red Sox won, I see that.
And Toronto beat the Yankees.
Yeah.
Very exciting finish. Yeah, the Red Sox came back and won as well.
Red Sox need all the wins they can get in order to get into the
I think all the teams have roughly 3 or 4 games left, so it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. Who do we got? We got Tampa Bay, Chicago, and who is the third division winner out of the AL?
Astros.
Houston,
yeah.
All right, so in the National League, one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing is, so St. Louis right now is like the number 2 wild card team.
They are, yep. According to my list.
The first wild card team is LA Dodgers.
They're definitely in. They're already locked in.
Right.
So.
It's likely the LA Dodgers are going to have to play a St. Louis team who just came off of a 17-game winning streak. So they're hot right now.
The Dodgers are?
No, the St. Louis
the Cardinals
are.
Oh, they're on fire towards the end of the season every year, yeah.
LA's got 102 wins.
Okay.
Can you imagine having 102?
They may not win the division.
They're not going to win the division. They're 2 games back right now.
Yeah.
So can you imagine being a 102-plus win team, and you got to play a 1-game playoff? One game to determine your playoff fate? That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
And there's a good chance they'll lose that game. Adam Wainwright is going to start for St. Louis. He's like 40 years old. He was an ace back in the days when they were winning the World Series with Albert Pujols, like back in 2007.
So he's 40 years old, still pitching?
Mm-hmm. He's 17-7 this year.
Good God.
Like a 3 flat ERA. So he's having a good year. 17 wins in 2021.
He's putting all his 40-year-olds to shame.
Yeah.
Especially my man over here, who's your daddy.
Oh,
putting that 40-year-old to shame.
Yes.
Looks 30 though.
Looks 30, maybe 40. He might be 40. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure it out. So let's get into college football.
I can do that
because that's where my love and my heart is at. And there's a lot of cool, good games this weekend. I was sitting there looking at it, and I'm just like, I'm going to be camping this weekend. and I'm a little bit disappointed.
You're camping this weekend.
I'm camping this weekend.
You
We
all
have
right
a
with
we have a TV, right?
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. So my man needs a beer. So
I'm,
we're
I'm
gonna
here.
go ahead.
I'm here with you.
We're gonna go ahead and make sure that you can get yourself a beer by pausing. And we're back. Had to go ahead and get some beers really quick for the boys. So,
Boys.
college football, big weekend. I'm camping this weekend. It's going to be rough. We do have a TV out there, though, and my truck has Wi-Fi, so I could probably
You're
stream
good.
things
You're
and stuff
good.
like that, so I'll be good.
I might come to your campsite and watch the games.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, I don't know what game to even start with, but let's start from the bottom and work our way up, okay?
Don't say Ohio State. Don't say Ohio
No,
State.
Oklahoma State versus Baylor. 19 Oklahoma State versus number 21 Baylor. Both of these teams got into the top 25 only because they beat some like 23rd, 24th ranked teams last week, and they're 4-0 now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are 4-0. Baylor doesn't look bad. And again, this is the Big 12. Oklahoma State beat a pretty solid Kansas State team, actually.
Kansas State, yeah, then Baylor beat Iowa State last week as well.
Right.
So
those aren't
that's
bad
how
wins.
that's how they got into the top 25.
Yeah.
I'm
Make
not
it
too
matchup.
excited about that game. To me, I don't see. I see that game being exciting and a lot of scoring, but it's the Big 12. Would they compete in the Big 10 and the SEC?
No, but if you're undefeated in the Big 12, you got a good shot at getting to the playoffs this year, and that matters with Oklahoma not looking so hot.
That's true, and you got to be able to beat Oklahoma. So one of those teams is going to be able to beat Oklahoma. They have to, right? But
Yeah.
they're all going to play Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure down the road they're going to play Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma's not looking that good this season in the sense that they're having a hard time scoring. Spencer Rattler's having a tough time scoring points. So anything can happen in the Big 12 right now. And you know who wins the Big 12 is possibly going to make it into the top 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, if you're undefeated in the Big 12, you're probably going to be there.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Especially if you're Oklahoma, because they love that. They love that team. One more point I got to make about the ACC. Clemson's number 25
For one more week.
for one more week. But when has Wake Forest and NC State been ranked higher than Clemson?
I have no idea. Is Boston College ranked yet or not?
Boston College is not
They're
ranked.
4-0.
But they're not ranked.
Yeah.
So Wake Forest is ranked number 24. NC State ranked number 23. Obviously because they beat Clemson last week. That's why. But
They don't play each other this week, do they?
who?
NC State and Wake Forest?
I don't know. I haven't looked that up. So Louisiana Tech plays NC State. Boston College plays Clemson.
Right.
Wake Forest. So yeah, that's not.
So
the case.
hopefully all three of those teams are ranked ahead of Clemson
Yeah.
next week.
And for some reason on my notes, I erased the team that's playing Wake Forest. But Louisiana Tech, NC State's going to win. Boston College can pull an upset against Clemson.
Louisville plays at Wake Forest.
Okay. Oh, that can be a good game.
Wake Forest is 6.5 point favorite. So.
Right.
Is Wake Forest 4-0 right now? Is that why
They're
they're
4-0,
ranked in the
yeah.
top 25? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That is unusual for them to even be ranked.
And I wouldn't really call Boston College a major upset over Clemson at this point.
You don't? Yeah, that's true. I don't think anything's amazing. I mean, they cannot score points for the life of them right now.
No, they can't.
That game last week, it just showed like they do not have any offensive talent at the running back position, at the quarterback position, their offensive line's looking rough. They lost a lot of talent last season, and
Well, their senior running back just entered the transfer portal. I don't know if their freshman running back, Will Shipley's, going to be healthy. I think he's hurt
Really?
right now. He might be out for a week or 2 or 3.
wow. So Dabo Swinney's has it rough right now.
The only thing that's running on that team is him down the hill.
But you made a great point earlier about Wake Forest with the ratings and NC State. I don't know that's, and I'm sure people could look that up. But when's the last time they've ever been rated ahead of Clemson?
I mean, at least since 2014.
Yeah, before Dabo.
Yeah, pre-Dabo most likely. I'd love to look that up and see. I mean, that's interesting to thought. I wanted to talk about Auburn a little bit tonight, but my man Chopper is not here, and they're playing LSU.
All right. Well,
Auburn's
they've got two really good running backs.
Auburn does. Yeah, so they have Tank Bigsby.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Not sure, right?
Yeah.
See,
but he's averaging like 6 or 7 yards a pop.
Okay. I just don't know about Auburn this season. I thought they were going to do well. Penn State kind of showed it up, but then last week, the showing that they had against Georgia State. Did you watch that game? Because I got to watch that game, and Georgia State was winning the entire game. And all of a sudden, at the very end, Auburn was able to put some things together and score. They made it a 5-point game, and then they got pretty much lucky towards the end. And with like a minute left, they scored a touchdown. Georgia State ends up throwing a pick 6 on their last possession. So it made it look like it was good. 34-24 was the end. But, I mean, it was 19 to, or I think it was like 19 to 24 with like a minute and a half left.
I mean, it was probably just one of those classic look-ahead games, you know.
Well, there could have been looking ahead.
Right.
It just worries me that Auburn would have such a rough game, you know?
Yeah, but you got to let that go. You got to put it behind you.
And go play LSU.
Right. And
who wins that game?
I think Auburn wins that game by getting back to the ground game. Bo Nix will probably get a few passes in there that'll help, you know, keep the secondary honest. LSU's got like the best quarterback in the country, so
LSU is a 3.5-point favorite, but I still picked Auburn.
Yeah, LSU's not bad. LSU is not really a 3.5-point favorite. That's probably some people in the betting odds rooms saying, "Oh, there might be an upset." You know, I would imagine. Let's move on to the Big Ten for a second, because I know y'all hate talking about Michigan, or what do y'all call them?
The team up
Team
north.
up north.
Why do they call them the team up north?
Because we don't say that name, except for I used it extensively last week.
You used it last week, and you were like, you probably
I'm just
got,
being real for the show because I care about y'all.
That's fine. Yeah, no one would. If you're in Texas, and we know we have a lot of listeners in Texas, by the way, you have no idea what that means by the team up north unless you're talking about Oklahoma.
They know what it means.
They know what it means?
They know what it means. I'm a Buckeye fan, team up north, connect the dots, you're good.
Michigan, number 14. They're looking good this year. They are the real deal.
Well,
That's
they
my
were.
opinion.
You know, I agree. They didn't look so hot last weekend against Rutgers. But Rutgers is a vastly improved team.
Rutgers, everyone was saying that they can pull off the win. Even my man over here, the Who's Your Daddy over here. Sorry, I couldn't think of it for a second because I was trying to get ahead of my mind. Who's Your Daddy over here even says he thought that Rutgers might be able to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, it would look
I
excellent.
did. And I'll tell you what, I think this weekend, Ohio State's like a 14.5-point favorite, and I picked Rutgers to cover on the spread. Now, I think Ohio State will win the game, but I think Rutgers...
I'll be right back. I got to go home and change the locks real quick.
Haha, he's moving out.
I did it on the spread. I don't think Ohio State will lose the game, but I think Rutgers will cover the point spread.
Now, Ohio State covered the point spread last week, and you guys were surprised about that.
Yeah, on the last 2 minutes of the...
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Rutgers seems like they have a team that, not to pull an upset out of it.
So Rutgers held the team up north to like 47 total yards in the second half. The first half, they were down, I think, 20-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
The first 2 drives, the team up north just ran it down their throat. Like
You mean
75.
Michigan? Say it.
No.
Say it.
No, it's getting too close and it's getting too real. The blue and maize team.
Y'all are like within, they're ranked number 14. Michigan's ranked number 14. Y'all are ranked number 11.
Why are you yelling at me? But
I picked Michigan to win at Wisconsin, and they're a 1.5 favorite. But I still think Wisconsin's struggling this season, and I just think Michigan they'll be ready for this game at Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
and I'm not going to say that they were looking ahead, but I think maybe they took their foot off the gas a little bit just to make sure that nobody got hurt, injured, in preparation for next week, for this week coming up, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, Rutgers is vastly improved. I'm getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but I do think Ohio State will be able to cover the 14.5. I think they're going to win easily, probably, I'm going to say 4-touchdown win over Rutgers. In Rutgers, I think Ohio State's got a lot to prove and a lot to say for itself.
We're going to have to cut him off for no more beers. I think it's gotten to him, whatever he's drank to this point.
Well, we can talk about the
4 touchdowns.
What are you wearing on your head right now?
I don't feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves with the talking Ohio State Rutgers, but those are not like the big games of the weekend. I think Wisconsin could be an upset against Michigan. I really do think that's the case. They did lose last week, right? And this week coming up, playing Michigan, Wisconsin's be out for blood. But Michigan's got a good team this year.
They do.
And if they win this game, if they win it handily, they might move into the top 10. Who knows?
But they don't
Just
have
because
much of a passing attack. It's okay, but it's not really good. So if Wisconsin has a pretty damn good defense. I mean, they held their own with Penn State, who's currently number 4 in the nation. If they can load the box and slow down that running attack, just like Rutgers did, it's going to be up to Wisconsin to score points and win the game.
Yep. So let's move south, way down south to Gainesville, Florida, and talk about my number 10 Gators versus Kentucky. Now, the Gators are actually driving up to Lexington. They might even fly, who knows. Most likely they will. They got that Gators jet. And they're going to be playing in Lexington against the Kentucky Wildcats. Our girl, the blonde, actually, she hasn't been on the show this year, but she's a big Kentucky fan. And we're trying to get on the show.
Basketball fan, I think, too.
She's a basketball fan, yeah. So anyway, number 10 Florida at Kentucky. I don't know. So Emory Jones right now is kind of Tebow-esque in the sense that,
No, he's not.
What do you mean by that? Expound upon this for me.
So
Tebow, but hold on.
I'm confused how you can even say Emory Jones and Tebow-esque in the same sentence.
I'm looking at this through rose-colored glasses because I'm a Gators fan. So I need you to bring me down a level.
I thought I just did.
Bring me down a level. Okay.
So, but here, this is what I think. I think Florida realizes they have something fairly decent, fairly special, being able to hang in there with the best team in the country, and I think they're going to use that to move forward. Kentucky is having a hard time scoring points.
Kentucky really made me feel. I never put it past Kentucky beating Florida, right?
Yeah.
They did it I think it was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. They beat Florida at home. So Florida's going back up there after losing the last time they were there. There's people on that team that remember that.
I got 35-7.
And Kentucky, Florida's an 8.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
And I've got them covering.
But,
I got them covering very easily.
So
35-7 Florida.
Yeah. Look at last week's game in South Carolina against Kentucky, right?
That's where I'm coming up with that.
That's why I came up with. That's why I'm relatively confident, but I'm always.
I think you should bet your house on the spread, honestly.
You think I should bet my house on the spread?
I would not bet my house, but I think you should.
Well, I'm moving in with you in your lake house.
Well, I'm going to have room if Who's Your Daddy keeps talking about.
Yeah, Who's Your Daddy gets locked out. Me and my family become Ohio State fans when we move on in.
I mean, it's all good.
I could be homeless in this whole situation.
All right, we got to move on to the biggest game of the week.
I love you, Craig.
I don't know if it's the biggest game of the week. Actually, it's the third biggest game of the week. And that's going to be number 7 Cincinnati versus number 9 Notre Dame. Now, listen, Brian Kelly and his Notre Dame Fighting Irish are having a hard time scoring not scoring per se, but they've had a hard time their first 2 games. The last 2 games against Purdue, and what was last week's game?
Hey.
Against Wisconsin. They have not had. They've done well the last 2 games, but they started off really slow. I mean, look at Florida State, held their own against Notre Dame. What do you think is going to happen in this game, Cincinnati or Notre Dame?
Well, quick fun fact: who did Brian Kelly coach for before he went to Notre Dame?
I don't know.
Cincinnati.
Who's Your Daddy? You knew that?
I knew that.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know that. So,
and that's why I picked 2.5-point spread that Notre Dame will upset if that's what you want to call it.
I wouldn't call it an upset, but
It's number 9
Right.
playing number 7, but I think Notre Dame will win the game.
Fun fact number 2: Notre Dame's defensive coordinator. His
What
name
about him?
is Marcus Freeman.
Okay.
Who was he the defensive coordinator for last year?
He must have been
Cincinnati.
Okay. Interesting.
Fun fact number 3:
Hit me up.
he was a Buckeye.
He was a Buckeye.
And
okay.
I'm out. Go for it.
All right. I just think that this is going to be probably a high-scoring game. It's going to be a shootout between offenses. That's my thought. I think Notre Dame has a defense to stop Cincinnati one more time, maybe 2 more times, then Cincinnati is able to stop Notre Dame.
So I will say this. Even if it's a close game, there will be points scored. This could be Cincinnati's quarterback Desmond Ritter's coming out party, get him on a national scene. I picked Notre Dame to win, but this has the potential to spring him into the Heisman conversation. Very, 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 very skilled quarterback. I'm
Jack
looking
Cohen?
forward. No, Desmond Ritter, Cincinnati.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay,
Cincinnati's
sorry.
quarterback.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry.
So Cincinnati was my who's your surprise pick to make the college football playoffs. That was our first show that we did this year.
That was your
Cincinnati
pick?
was my pick.
Okay.
So even though I picked Notre Dame, this could move them probably in the top 5 right now.
I don't think that they can get in.
Why?
Because they're not Power 5.
They're not Power 5, but they are
And their
poised.
only game is against Notre Dame that's worth the crap.
They're currently ranked number 8.
They'll be ranked number 5. They go undefeated, they're ranked number 5.
I know, but there's a lot of season left.
They're 7.
They're 7.
They're number 7.
They win
Yeah.
against another top 10 team, and I believe this is in South Bend.
Yes.
This is in South Bend.
That's a big win.
That's a big win, but it's their only big win. It'll this season it will be their only big win.
They actually have another opportunity. I'll let you know here in a moment.
No, that's fine. So,
I have no signal.
but then again, Cincinnati is you said a 2-point favorite,
2.5 point favorite.
2.5 point favorite. Okay, I looked at it earlier today. I thought it said 1.5. But
It
either
could
way,
have went down. It could have went down.
it could have went down, or you're looking at it right now, right? So.
No, these
It
came
may
out
have
on
went up.
Tuesday.
Okay, so I looked at it this afternoon, and it was a 1.5 point favorite. But still, that's neither here nor there. That's less than that's 2 extra points. Notre Dame, their quarterback has an ankle injury right now. He is going to be playing, but he's not going to be that mobile because of that. Now, I don't know that he's a mobile quarterback in the first place, so we'll have to see how this kind of plays out.
Cincinnati, they got some dogs on defense too, so they'll be trying to exploit that. They will be going
They
after
do.
them.
They've had a significant amount of sacks against their opponents this year, so we'll see what happens. Moving on, is Penn State the real deal? I need y'all's opinion. They're ranked number 4. That surprised the hell out of me when that came out, that they were ranked number 4. I thought they'd be 5, maybe 6.
So last week, I had Penn State and Iowa in my top 4.
Okay.
AP poll has them 4 and 5, so it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So that's about kind of where I thought they would be. Penn State has a lot of skilled players, solid on defense, but I don't know if they have the offensive firepower to maintain that level of success throughout the entire season.
1 or 2 injuries hurts the hell out of them, right?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
But again, they're never going to be able. They're going to have to be able to outscore some teams.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not sure who they have this week.
They're playing Indiana this week.
Hoosiers.
Indiana.
They're
The
playing the
Hoosier
Hoosiers.
Daddies!
It could be a tough game, but I do believe they have Maryland coming up here down the road. They got a stretch of about, over the next seven weeks, I think. They're got
playing
4 or
some tough
5
teams,
pretty,
yeah.
I think, ranked teams maybe.
Yeah. Michigan's thrown in there somewhere.
Well, Michigan State's looking good out of the
Michigan
East.
State.
Maryland is looking really good out of the East.
People are calling them to beat Iowa this week. So
Well, and I was just about to bring that up. Talia Tagovailoa, Tua's brother, is having an outstanding season so far. He's like in the probably top 3 in the nation in quarterback rating.
wow, that's great.
So it's not going to be easy, but I like Iowa's defense, so I'll go with Iowa this week. I think Penn State is the real deal, but they're not going to have enough offense to maintain that level of success.
Now, clearly they beat Indiana this week, but so you don't think they're going to have enough offense to maintain that success?
Right.
I think they'll beat Indiana, but I still would take Indiana with a 10.5-point spread. I don't think it's going to be more than that.
Are you trying to take this show to Vegas, my man? Who's your daddy?
No,
Somebody's
I'm
got to pay
I'm
for the beer.
probably weighing too much on my heart right now with Indiana, taking the 10.5-point. I think Penn
he is
State will
who's
win.
your daddy. So.
Penn State will win the game, but I think the Hoosiers will keep it under 10.5.
Gotcha.
And then the Iowa game, when you look at that, Maryland, Iowa, 4.5-point spread at Maryland.
Oh, wow. That's it? Just
but
4.5 points?
But I think Iowa will cover the spread there.
Iowa's a good team.
Right.
They're a quietly good team. I think they'll be fine. We got to move on to the second furthest south team. I don't know if they're second, like geographically, if they really are or not. But we're going to talk about the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs versus the number 8 Arkansas Razorbacks, the Hogs. Everyone was calling for an upset last week when Texas A&M and the Hogs were going at it, right?
Wasn't even that close.
But nobody is calling for an upset with Georgia versus Arkansas, except not even you, and not even Lucky Lock, and nobody's saying upset for Georgia against Arkansas. Why not? Why?
I think this week is a find me out week for Arkansas. And when you look at going to Georgia, and they're an 18.5-point underdog, I do give them credit. I think they will they'll beat the spread, but I still think Georgia's going to win the game due to the defense. I mean, by far the top defense in the country.
They've only had 23 points scored on them in 4 games.
But
23 points.
Arkansas is much improved than they have been in the past years.
But you don't think they're the real deal?
I don't think they're going. But I could say this is a find me out week about Arkansas.
A lot of teams.
We're going to find out.
Sam Pittman, their coach, has really done something amazing at that school.
Where did he come from?
He came from Georgia.
Yes, he was. Yes, he did.
But he also came, like, he's bounced around for
yeah, but
a
he was
while.
at Georgia for like 3 or 4 years before he, like recently.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to throw an added wrinkle into this game.
Yeah,
Having that
Kirby
familiarity.
Smart's,
yeah.
Kirby
I
Smart's
can't
going to
say
need
that
to
word.
figure out ways to beat this.
Familiarity.
Yeah.
Whatever that word is.
He's going to be familiar with everything they're doing on defense and on offense, and it's going to make it so that Georgia's going to have to be on their toes the entire game.
But JT does come back this week.
He is,
And I think he's going to have a big game.
Yeah, JT Daniels is going to be back.
How you like that, Sloan?
100% healthy? Maybe. I mean, if you have a pulled lat or whatever, then that can get tweaked really easy. You get hit the wrong way, you do whatever. You can get, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he performs. But I'm not on the JT Daniels bandwagon in the first place. They're not putting up points like they should be for a number 2 team.
Well, has he played in 2 or 3 of the games this year?
3 games.
Yeah.
He's not. Everyone was hyping him up. He's going to be a Heisman candidate. No.
Well, Clemson's got a really
defense.
Clemson's got a really good defense.
Georgia's defense is all around
They scored
badass.
62 this past weekend, and they scored 41 the week before.
Yeah, but I mean, you're playing a bunch of cupcakes.
If you're giving up 5 points a game, how many points do you need to score?
But you can't score on a Clemson defense worth of crap. I don't know. I don't see JT Daniels as being that good of a quarterback.
No.
I see Georgia.
He's better than what they had.
I see Georgia. Stetson, what's his name? Stetson,
Yeah.
whatever. We'll just call him Stetson. Because we don't, this is Guys About Sports, we don't have all of the stats in front of us. But,
And we're drinking beer.
and we're drinking beer, yeah. And I have a big ass beer. And y'all already drank all your beer that we just ordered? Good
yeah.
Lord, man.
Well, I don't have a giant mug like you do because I
Hallelujah.
haven't won a contest yet.
Hallelujah. Georgia wins the game.
Uh-huh.
I think everyone thinks that. It would be surprising if Arkansas wins.
It would be. It'd be
Agree.
cool, but it would be surprising.
But I still would pick Arkansas to cover the spread, 18.5. But I think
That
Georgia
is a big
will win the
spread.
game.
What did I have them at?
I'd have to look it up, and I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
But you want to know my hopes? Because I'm a Florida Gators fan. I always hope that Georgia wins until the last week of October.
Yeah, I've got them winning by 10,
So-
27-17. So
Yeah.
And that's what me. I think Georgia will win the game, but I think Arkansas will still cover the spread.
Sure.
What's our next game we got?
Next game, we got to move on because
Powder blue. Powder blue.
Yeah. Ole Miss, number 12.
Oh, yeah.
versus number 1 Alabama.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
everyone is on this Lane Kiffin, oh, he's so good, stupid ass, excuse my language, sorry, stupid bandwagon.
Who?
And everyone loves this Lane Kiffin. Like,
I do. I love
he's
him.
just the man. He's going to win.
He's not
against
the man. That's why I
Alabama
love him.
And all that stuff.
He's not the man. So there was a beautiful little article. You had a poll on our little Facebook page the other day.
Yeah.
Why does everybody love Lane Kiffin?
I don't know.
I commented offense.
What did
But
you say?
I had a one-word answer. It was offense.
Offense, okay.
Yeah. Now,
That's all they got. They
well,
can
that's
score.
all they had.
Last season, they scored 48 points against Alabama.
Yeah.
Right? With 647 yards, the most points ever scored against a Nick Saban defense.
Right. Now, that was last year.
And they have
They
seven.
had no defense last year.
They have 7 starters returning.
This year, they have a half of a defense.
They have shit for excuse me, they have crap for defense.
No.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss does not have crap for defense. They have a better than Ohio State defense, which isn't saying much, but they have a much improved defense than they had last year. Last year they had no defense. This year they have some defense. Now, Alabama's a great team.
Oh, you chose Ole Miss to upset.
I
forgot.
did.
Oh,
and I'm
listen
gonna make
up,
those.
Lucky Lock. Listen up,
That's right.
Lucky Lock.
This is where I get that one win edge right here.
Hey, Lucky Lock is taking notes.
He
So
should
talk.
be. Everybody should be taking notes right here.
All right.
So about, 7 years ago, 2014, 2013, Lane Kiffin shows up to Alabama. At the time, what was Alabama's offense look like? There's a great article on ESPN today about this. It was a pro-style, manage the game quarterback, win it with your defense kind of team. Nick Saban realized, hey, the game is evolving. I need to evolve. I need to bring somebody in who can help me evolve. Who did he bring in? Nick Saban, the greatest probably coach of all time,
Of course.
brought in Lane Kiffin. Now, why would the greatest coach of all time bring in Lane Kiffin? Because he is an incredible offensive mind. You cannot deny that. You can't.
Okay.
So, this is year 2
Year
at
2.
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
He's got his system fully in place. He's got an improved defense. Alabama is not the team this year that they were last year.
Sure.
There's an opportunity here to be taken. I think Ole Miss gets it done. 41-31, Ole Miss. Go Rebs.
I have to disagree with Ripper. I mean, one of my greatest sons, but
Greatest son-in-law, really.
There's too many 5 stars on the Alabama roster, and when you look at that, he mentioned somebody a 4-touchdown favorite. Well, at least by 2 touchdowns. Alabama will cover the 14.5-point spread. Enough said. I mean,
If you've been listening to this show all season, you know that I was doubtful about Alabama coming into this season because they lost their quarterback. They lost a Heisman Trophy receiver. They lost their running back. They lost a lot of talent on offense. They lost a lot of talent on defense. but they've shown that they are still the number one team in the country. And I'm not going to bet my house. I'm going to bet Ripper's house.
I thought I was waiting for that. I was like, are you going to bet mine?
And I will be homeless.
Hey, we're going to make sure that Who's Your Daddy is homeless by the end of this episode.
Oh, I can't do that.
All right?
So
Motel 6.
Motel 6,
We're
yeah.
calling.
Hopefully they have a flat screen TV to watch some football.
Hopefully they leave the light on for me.
So typically after the first 4 weeks of college football, Alabama is like in the top 5 in defensive scoring allowed.
So they're not right now.
They're like 18. They're averaging 18.7 points is what they're giving up after 4 games. That's what they're averaging giving up.
They have the most interceptions right now of any team in SEC, right?
Who's the quarterback they're going against?
Matt Corral.
Who's leading the Heisman race right now? Is it Bryce Young or is it Matt Corral?
Hold on. Matt Corral has been known to throw some interceptions, though.
I'm just saying.
You get a good corner.
You got
get
5-star people rushing him.
Yeah. You
get those powder blues out.
Not 4 stars, 3 stars. Or honorable mentions.
I don't think. Alabama's gonna. I don't know how many interceptions right now Matt Corral has. If he has 0,
he's got 1.
Yeah, he's
10
not.
and 1.
Yeah, okay. But last season he was like
3 games.
Last season he was like 20 or something like that, right? So if he does not leave this game with an interception, I'm buying the rounds of beer next week. Okay.
So what's your prediction for the score?
I don't do predictions, but I'm going to say whatever.
I don't do predictions?
I don't do predictions. I can tell. No, that's not my thing. My thing is leading the conversation on Guys at the Bar talking sports. That's
so
what
who do you think's going to win?
And I have a good buzz from this beer.
Who do you think's going to win? How about that?
No, Alabama's winning.
Okay.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah. Now I know it's a bold statement. It's a bold move by me.
It is a bold move.
But you got to take chances.
Listen,
again, you got to risk it for the biscuit.
I commend you for risking it, but for the biscuit.
Say it again.
Okay?
That's nice.
Risk it for the biscuit, baby. I commend you for it. I'll make that shirt too. So we got 2 new shirts coming out. Risk it for the biscuit and whatever the other one was.
What is the other one?
What was the other one? I don't remember. It was
I'll
3 words. It was 3 words, and we'll figure it out, and I'll post on
we'll
the
have to
Facebook.
play this back.
So we gotta close this show because this
Let's
is getting out of freaking control.
Woo!
Okay, so guys, the Bar Talking Sports, best show out there, even better than those 2 idiots that used to play for
Chelsea Manning and who's the other one?
Yeah, those
Elliot.
2 guys. Yeah, Elliot Manning and whoever
I love you, Manning. I know you listen.
We're gonna beat them out. We're going to number 1 on Apple Podcasts soon. So you gotta share the show with your friends, listen to it, love it, and you also gotta give it a 5-star rating and review on your podcatcher.
Do it.
And then when you do that, come on back next week and listen to Guys at the Bar Talking
Sports.
It's your boy Hanger looking for a beer. Actually, we're all looking for a beer. So if you want to buy the guys a beer, at Guys at the Bar Talking Sports on Venmo. That's it. Easy as drinking a beer.